Tervetuloa kaikille munkin puolesta. Ville Mediamaisterista ja tähän alkuun muutama sana ennen kuin päästetään Tonya irti. Eli Tonya on IntelliBoardilta esittelemässä meille järjestelmää ja kertomassa mistä on kyse. Taustaa vähän sen verran, että Mediamaisteri ja IntelliBoard on sopinut partnerisopimuksen tässä joku aika sitten ja ne tuodaan nyt sitten meidän asiakkaille saataville muuten yhteyteen tätä IntelliBoard analytiikkajärjestelmää. IntelliBoard valikoitu meidän partneriksi lähinnä sen takia, että he ovat varma globaalisti toimiva yritys, jolla on hyvä track record, 1400 asennusta kun tällä hetkellä on ja 8,5 miljoonaa tai enemmänkin loppukäyttäjiä, eli toimiva järjestelmä, mikä on erityisesti rakennettu Moodlea varten, eli hyödyntää Moodlen dataa ja ne on siihen täysin integroitavissa. Analytiikka sinänsä ei mikään uusi asia ole, että pitkään jo ollut tapetilla vuosikausia puhuttu, mutta työkalut ja teknologiat on ollut vähän sillä tasolla, ettei ole oikein semmoiseksi käytännön toiminnaksi koskaan vielä analytiikka niin tullut, mutta nykyään alkaa olla jo sitten käytettävyys ja muut työkaluissa sitä luokkaa, että niistä on ihan päivittäiseksi työkaluiksi ja tämä IntelliBoard on nyt yksi niistä ja meidän vaihtoehto tähän asiaan. Musta tuntuu, että me voitaisiin mennä suoraan eteenpäin niin, että päästään itse asiaan ja nähdään mahdollisimman paljon itse IntelliBoardia toiminnassa ja kuullaan asiantuntijalta vähän, että mitä se pitää sisällään. Tosiaan kirjoittakaa kysymyksiä chattiin, vastaillaan niihin sitä mukaan kun niitä tulee ja käsitellään. Ja mä kirjoitan tuohon chattiin vielä meidän demo-saitin, eli maistericloud.com. Sinne voi kaikki mennä ja kirjautua sisälle, tehdä tunnukset ja mennä katselemaan, että miltä näyttää Mediamaisterin LMS, muuten versio tällä hetkellä, siinä on uutta käyttöliittymää ja muuta. Ja sieltä pystyy sitten katselemaan IntelliBoardiakin myös. Ja mä pistän jo IntelliBoardinkin demosaitin osoitteen tuohon, eli siellä voitte käydä kokeilemassa sitten IntelliBoardia ihan pelkästään. Siellä on semmoinen Moodle taustalla ja IntelliBoardin eri rooleilla pystytte kirjautumaan sinne sisälle ja katsomaan miltä se näyttää. But without further ado, Tonya, are you all set to give us the presentation?
Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be with you.
Off you go.
I want to say this morning because it is my morning, but I know from Ville that it is your afternoon. So I will work to be very exciting for you because I know it's closer to the end of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. I think I will share my screen.
Looking good, looking good.
If you can confirm that you can see. Okay. There. Okay, fabulous. Because Ville, I saw that you shared the address of the demo site. I'm actually going to start in reverse. And I will show the demo site because I want to explain a few things about the demo site, and I encourage all of you to take a look. When you go to the page, all you need to do to log in as the various roles is to click this arrow. I'll log in as one of these as an example, so you can see that it clicks the arrow, it enters the information, and even clicks the sign in button. What you're viewing here is a vanilla Moodle site, a plain Moodle site, and the IntelliBoard plugin has been installed, and this is the teacher instructor view. So it's available through the navigation block. You can see that the instructor dashboard has been selected here. And the instructors have an incredible amount of information at their access. We can see that they have their own dashboard. They have the ability to view the grades of their learners against the time spent in the course. They can see how the various event types are being utilized within their courses. They also can view learner progress, their grades, and the activity progress within their courses. When we click here, you'll be able to, and I won't click here now, you can take a look at it when you go to the website. You can view learners and individual activities for these specific courses. And they also have a suite of reports that are available to them. I'm going to log out from the teacher demo because the most important thing I want to make sure that you recognize when you log into the demo site and start poking around is in the manager view, we do separate. So administrators have an incredible amount of power in IntelliBoard, and that's one of the things I'm going to show you shortly. But this is still IntelliBoard inside of the Moodle site. And while you can view it here, what I want you to do when you're on the demo site is to make sure that you're clicking this single sign-on click through to IntelliBoard.net. And this is only available to an administrator. And once you do that, I'm not doing it because I'm already logged in, but once you do that, you then have access to this interface. And this interface is what drives the train for multiple organizations and what becomes really exciting when you access your data. So this is the IntelliBoard landing page, again, for administrators or other people with sub-accounts that you grant. And what we can see here are a number of different, we'll start with widgets. So these are graphical representations of data, of your data in the site. And on this, we can see that we have the number of sessions, course completions, and user enrollments. We can see how that's moving over time. We can view it daily, weekly, or monthly. You can also get a very, very quick snapshot of the user's overview, but we have incredibly detailed reports that expand on this widget quite a bit. Right now, we're only viewing, I think, 10 learners, and they all start with the letter A. That's probably not helpful, especially when you want to view learners with names that don't start with A. So we'll go into the reports and we'll view that a little bit more closely. We can see registrations. However, if all of them come from Finland, there'll be a very, I can't even remember, it's like right here, right? I don't know, Ville, am I getting that right? So you may only get a small access point in the global map, but if you're global, you'll see it come from everywhere. And now my geography and my lack of geography is definitely showing itself. Oh, to be an American. Okay, so then participation, you can see the participation. And when you hover, you get additional information. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to jump to our widgets. And these widgets are grouped into 3 different categories: learners, courses, and performance. So when we jump onto any one of these dashboards, again, you'll see very quick snapshots, widgets of what's going on in your courses. So these are the learner widgets, and we can see unique sessions, active users, and user activity. I go through this somewhat quickly, mainly so I can get onto the courses. So these are showing you enrollments, top 10 most visited courses, courses with 0 activity, the all most visited courses, active courses, and new courses. What's important about what these widgets do is this hamburger icon and the date range. So right now you can see that my date range is from April 18th to April 24th. I know this is backwards for Europe. And what we're viewing here is courses with 0 activity in the date range that I have specified. I can change the date range independently or can use any one of these quick links at the bottom. And this hamburger icon enables me to do a ton of information with this. I can share it via email right now. And if you know the leader of Finland's email address, all you need to do is type it up there and you can send it to him or her. Ville, tell me, is it a him or a her? I don't even know. Ah, good, I got it right. Thank you. We're not even going to discuss our president.
It's a
Okay,
him
moving
at
on.
this time.
So these are, and then you can also schedule this to appear in your email or anyone's email that you prefer. You can change the subject line, you can change the period of time, and you can change the frequency, also the attachment type. You'll see this interface and the email interface all over IntelliBoard because you can do this again and again and again with any report, any widget. If I jump to the performance set of widgets, what we'll see here are two that I really like and spend quite a bit of time on, and that would be the browser statistics and the HTTP requests. In the browser statistics, you will be able to see how your learners are accessing your site. So this is something to pay close attention to. The mobile browser, you can't see it easily, but right now the mobile browser access on my demo site is 4%. So it doesn't, I think, reflect in actuality the large amount of mobile access that we are beginning to see in learning management systems and how learning needs to adapt to that. So I was actually sharing or working with a client of ours, and she was screen sharing so that I could view her data, which is always fun, and I love to do that, and I hope I get a chance to do it with some of our attendees today. And her mobile access figures were 48%. So 48% of her learners were accessing via a mobile browser. So she was very concerned about the delivery of her content and how they were managing that process. Now, my demo LMS is not very exciting. I don't have a lot of event types, so my pie chart here is not very sexy. I only have 76% of quizzes, and I have an other 1% and a page 23%. So it's not super sexy. But in a real higher ed or corporate environment, your event types are probably going to be much more disparate. And so you'll be able to see how your learners are using these events inside the LMS, which is beautiful. So let's dive into the reports. And the first thing that I'm going to show you are the sheer number of reports available inside of IntelliBoard. So if I expand the Learner Reports menu, you will see that we have approximately 10 different reports. You have access to these reports on the demo site. It is a fully functioning demo site. You'll be able to click and run any one of these reports. Very important to understand that IntelliBoard is real time. We do not store your data. We do not duplicate your data. Every single time I am running one of these reports, I am actually reaching out into the Moodle log tables, scooping up the data, and then displaying them in a JSON temp session. It's a JSON object and then a temp session. So never any issues about storage. We just don't do it. So when you're in the demo site and you're playing around, my suggestion is that you also view, we're going to view learner success in progress, but take a look at learner engagement, learner roles if you want to, and inactive users. But I'm going to show learner success in progress right now so that you can begin to, and I'm going to switch. If you have multiple Moodle instances, it's very easy to navigate, as you just saw me do, navigate between Moodle instances. And we're going to take a look at our at-risk learners. So what's happening here is that I've selected multiple courses, all courses that I have in my demo LMS, and I am viewing learners with a D+ or lower grade, and I've chosen that. So that way, when you are deciding what it means to be an at-risk learner, you get to make that choice. You get to make that choice. So if you have if you decide that it's C+ or lower that your at-risk learners are, then you can select C+ or lower. I would do it, but I know I don't have any grades in there. Most of my grades are D's and F's. I have terrible learners in my demo LMS. So you can see that. Now, another option, when you are in the demo site and you're playing, make sure that you click these blue links because it's going to show you activity for the course or for the learner. So we can see here listed the course teachers. We can see the activity in the course. Okay. We can see our average grade for the course, the total time, and the total visits over time. We can also view the same data for our learners. So I'll go visit Ava. I don't know if Ava's had any activity recently. A little bit. So she had some activity in April. Oh, no, 0 visits. Let's see if she had any activity. 8 visits on July. 8 visits July 7th. So we can see that she's enrolled in 12 of 17 total courses. Her course completion, her learning progress, she's not doing that great if she's only done 5 out of 12. And her total time on site, total visits on site, average grade. So I'm going to go into a course report now, and I want to see course content utilization. And again, when you are visiting IntelliBoard, make sure that you take a look at learner progress, course access details, and course inactivity, which I won't have time to show you today. So in here, what I want to make sure that you see is, again, the ability to choose multiple courses. And what this is showing you is event types. You are viewing the event types that we have installed in our demo LMS. But if you're using Moodle, you know that it's amazing. You can install all sorts of plugin types for it. And we will reflect whatever kind of events that you have in your LMS in this drop-down menu, which enables you to be able to view all of the different types of events and their utilization. Again, my demo LMS, or when you see it, is not that sexy, so we don't have that many different types. Mostly it's pages and quizzes that you're going to see here. We can change the date range. I won't change the date range because I don't have a lot of data in here to support it if I do, but I just simply click on it and this date interaction should look very similar from before. In the same way, I can email this report anytime I want to with a click of a button. And I can also schedule this as a notification, and I can do this for every report. In this menu, this is enabling you to add or subtract fields. So for instance, I'm going to close this just for a second. It may not be interesting to you to view user language. So because if everybody is using Finnish, then we don't need to have that in here. So we can customize that to say, we're not interested in user language, we're going to take that off. We'll click Save. The report actually completely runs again, and it's gone. Another option is that if your organization is using user profile fields and you have this data, we can add nearly an unlimited number of user profile fields for you to be able to extend the functionality of this report. I don't have much data in my manager ID. This is just a random field that we created, but I'm going to go ahead and select it. And again, the report runs again, and you can see that manager ID now becomes a column. So as an example, if you did want to know who these individual people are supervised by, and you wanted to be able to sort by that, you obviously could export this particular report and be able to sort by that. This is also applicable in higher ed if you need to know an individual's major or the department that he or she is in. Makes no difference. However you're using your Moodle is how we are going to work to display your reporting for you. I am going to jump to some of our activity reports now in the interest of time. And we have a multitude of activity reports here. There are 6 of them, and then we break them down into specific event types. I'm going to jump to quizzes because I think a lot of people who are creating assessments really struggle with being able to get information from the LMS easily. And so one of the ones I love is Quiz Detail by Learner. So I am viewing a quiz, and I can see that Ava is finished, but she only has a 50. So I want to see what's going on with Ava. So I'm going to click this button, and it will expand to show me both of Ava's attempts at that quiz and everything that she did on that quiz. So if you have multiple attempts, it will show there. If you have one attempt, it will obviously show there and will show everything that the learner did. In addition to that, in our analytics, another one that I love for the quizzes in particular and assessments is the quiz overview and question detail. I'm going to cheat again, jump over here because I like this view better. So we are looking at the recertification test. I can pick any course that I want, and I can also pick any assessment in that course that I want. Now I can view the ratio of correct to incorrect answers. I can view when the assessment was completed by all of my learners. I can view the grade distribution for all of them. But most importantly, one of the features that I love is being able to see the distribution for specific quiz questions, the ratio of correct to incorrect. So if we take a look at this column right here, you can see very easily, or I should say row, that row, we can see very easily we can question, okay, is this the distribution that we want for this particular question? Does this question pose a problem? Is it incorrectly worded? Does our content not support the material for this question? And we can drive down very easily to see, hey, what's happening here? And this question right here, this 165 to 0, all right, maybe we want this question to be more rigorous. Do we want, is it too easily worded? What kind of rigor have we created in this particular assessment? And you can do it graphically and visually, and it's just incredibly amazing and easy to do. Show you a few other items in our analytics. So this is our course access. So this is where we're actually showing. Oh, I can see that we've got roles now. I'll just do I'll do them out of mechanics one. All the roles and we'll see what happens. Oh, and that's because I have no data in there. Okay, I need to switch in my date. I will ignore that for the time being because I can see that I'm running out of time, but I want to show you the notification center. This will actually come up. So when you're in the demo site and you're messing around, go ahead and choose all the courses and then you'll get data. But I'm running out of time, so I need to be able to show you the notification center. All right, so the notification center is your way to be able to create any kind of notification from within the IntelliBoard dashboard. So if we click this little icon in the top right, and you also have access to this, we're going to choose the notification type, and I would like to see a report, and then it's going to show me the report, and let's see, I think I'll choose course inactivity. So then I can decide the email, the subject line, how often I want to see it. So I want to see it every month, and I want to see it monthly. And then there's the attachment type. I click save, and now I have 2 different reports for course and activity. If I don't want it anymore, I trash it. And there we go. Okay, so I left 4 minutes for questions. So I'm hoping that we'll get a few.
Excellent. Thank you, Tonya. Now it's time for questions, so feel free to write down any thoughts that have come up in the chat field here. And if somebody wants to use the microphone to ask a question, just raise up your hand or write in the chat and I will give you microphone rights at that point.
Sen verran tässä, kun odotellaan tuleeko kysymyksiä, niin menkää ihmeessä kokeilemaan sinne Maistericloudiin tai demo.intelliboard.nettiin, niin näette ihan rauhassa voitte kokeilla ja katsoa, tutustua, että minkälainen tämä on.
One question
mitä
about
teille antaa.
analytics. Are there any analytics for the students? Will they see some sort of analytics?
Tonya.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to click over here. And this is, again, the site that you have access to. I'm going to log out because I'm logged in as a manager. If you log in as a student, you'll click this arrow right here. You'll see a vanilla Moodle site, and this is our learner. So our learner didn't have much going on last week. I'm going to change this to last semester. And we can see now that the learner has an 80% course average against an 83% site-wide average. They can view their assignments and quizzes, their course progress. They can see activity participation, and if they hover over this, they can view what's going on. So they have a total of, there are 4 forums total. They've viewed 4, they've completed 1. Here we're pretty much even pages. We're good there. Total of 7 quizzes. So we have some work here to complete. They can see that they've got certain items in progress against completed. They also can view their correlations. So they're not doing very well here, right? And if they hover, they can get the details of it. As a snapshot view, they can see their courses and then also their grades. And if they're concerned about what their grades are, they can view the activities that are associated to it. So in our business administration course, we're not doing that great. This young woman has a C-, which is absolutely terrible. And so then we can see that the score, there's 100%, but it's a 68 and a 33, and the activities are incomplete. Okay, I'm hoping that answers the question.
Let's see. There's a question in the chat about the tool. Is it for simply for the teachers or also for the students? But Ville already answered that it's both for teachers and students and administration. Every role has its own view and functionalities. And it's excellent that we have this demo that we can test after the webinar, so everyone can see for themselves. Then there is next question. Any studies on the students' view about if it helps students or not?
We introduced the learner dashboard in September of 2016. It is very brand new.
We had a pilot with one university in Finland, and the surprising take on that pilot was that the students were actually finding the IntelliBoard very useful. They were excited to see the correlation between the time spent and the grades.
And it made me
the
so happy.
Group, etc. So
I was so happy about that.
Finding.
anything else? I already noticed that it's past our time, but if there is something someone wants to ask, we can surely give some time for that. But how about if somebody wants to contact either one of you after the webinar? Should they contact Ville or can they contact you, Tonya, directly? If there are questions after the webinar. Excellent.
You can contact me. I wrote down my email
I'm also
address,
very happy
which is
if anybody wants
That is fine. That is fine.
ville.koiviola@mediamaisteri.com.
But hey, I think we have run out of questions and we are about to run out of time as well. So at this point, I say thank you, Tonya, and thank you, Ville. This was excellent, and you did manage to keep it exciting, even though it is late afternoon here in Finland. I'm sure we will continue looking into the demo after this.
I try. Thank you all so very much for your time.
Thank you,
I hope you
Tonya.
have a wonderful evening.
Have a great day, you as well. Noniin, mahtavaa.
Ja kiitos
Kiitoksia
mun puolesta
kaikille.
kaikille. Ottakaa yhteyttä